This is the very popular strategy of laying the draw at half time. This bot will lay the draw at half time if it's currently a draw. The draw odds have got to be lower than 2.5 and the match bets on the market are equal to 0. So we didn't want any activity on this market at all. Of course, this is something that's optional. You don't have to have this if you don't want, but it's just something that we're going to add in for this example. Also, the trading volume on the match odds market has got to be greater than £50,000. It's always advised that any match that you're trading, whether it be automated or manual, that you have alerts set up for that match, whether that be on flashscores or whatever software that you're using. So if there's any red cards, you can exit the trade, you can stop the automation from firing, and ideally you want it 0-0 or 1-1. This is because you want this on matches where you expected goals. So following the bet going in play, it's kind of a set it and forget it. You're going to be constantly monitoring this on flashscores or whatever software you're using, just in case there's a red card. If there's a red card, it's advised that you exit the trade. But as soon as a goal goes in, if the goal goes in, this is going to automatically green up. It's going to exit your position 60 seconds following the goal. This allows the market to reform after the suspension. And like most automation, you can exit the trade for the red on the 80th minute, or if it drops below a certain amount of negative profit. Now let's take a look at the creation side of the later draw in the half-time market. So let's create the automation for the later draw if it's currently a draw at half time. It's as simple as that, and then we're looking to green up in the second half as soon as there's a goal. So the first thing we need to do is open the soccer markets, and this is going to be in the match odds market, so let's select all the match odds markets and then head over to automation once selected a match. This will allow us then to create a new rules file for the selected market, and this strategy is only going to have 2 rules. It is a very simple bot, a very basic bot. The first thing we need to do is add a new rule and then give that a name, so it will be LTD at half time. And the rule type will be place a lay bet, and it's going to be an in-play time if we go from 50 minutes to 1 hour and 10 minutes. That ensures that it's currently in the half-time period. We are then going to want to assign it to Betfair Order 3, as this is the draw market, or the draw selection either. And we want to place it at the best market price over in parameters for either the fixed amount or the fixed amount by liability. But we're going to go fixed amount for £50. Now let's head over to the conditions tab. If we go new, the first thing we want to do is make sure that the market is in play. And then that the fixed odds condition is less than 1.25, which would indicate that it's currently a draw at half time. And unsuspended time condition is greater than 120 seconds. And that's it for the first rule. Now the next rule we'll need to add is if there is a goal, we're going to want to be greening up 2 minutes after the goal. So add new rules file, and we can call this one green up, on goal, and then this will be green all selections. Let's take it from 50 minutes to 230, just to make sure we cover the entire length of the match. And we want this to trigger, let's say 3 times, and wait 30 seconds. And this can be in any selection. There's going to be 2 conditions. We want unsuspended time condition greater than 120 seconds, and green or profit conditions greater than, let's say, £1. And of course this has to be an in-play time condition as well. And that is it. That is basically it. That is all there is to this automation. It is very, very basic. Most of the time there's no need to make anything more complicated than it needs to be. So it's just a matter of saving it and giving it a name, then giving it some heavy testing. So we're going to name this one LCT, LTD, HD. And like all of the other automations, this will be available in the Lady Draw strategy page. So we've got just the one example, and it's on the Bordeaux match. As you can see, the bet's just gone in now. We've got a £76 liability and a £47.55 green. So the bet went in on the 50-minute mark, as it's meant to do, as it's been created to do so. And we're just going to monitor this, see how it goes. So we're now 57 minutes in play and we are minus £10, it's still 0-0. But the stats were looking good, so we decided to stay in the match. I mean, it's always semi-automated, you never have to stick to it, you don't always have to play it out, you can always exit if you don't think that the game is going to produce any goals. But this game seems to be moving pretty well.
This event has been suspended.
And on the 69th minute, woohoo, came the goal. And as you can see, that is a massive jump. It's gone from heavy red now to £31.35, and it's going to take a couple of minutes to allow the market to settle down before it automatically greens up for you. You took your hands off the wheel and it's done the work. And there you go, it's fully greened up and a successful trade. So here again we have a very simple piece of automation, but it's very effective if used correctly.